If you're trading crypto right now, you're likely making a fatal mistake in the markets right now. I want to talk about this because in crypto gaming, it feels like the sentiment is always about negativity during the market downs. Everything just keeps going down and it's never coming back up. And then inevitably, it comes back up. Everybody's top blasting. They're buying things at all-time highs when prices have never been higher. And then they continue to complain when things don't go their way. I've wanted to break this down for quite some time, the end-all be-all blueprint of how to actually make money in crypto in 2024 for crypto gaming. If you enjoy the content, like and subscribe. We're going to be here for a bit. I hope you enjoy the ride, and let's get into it. I actually got motivated to make this video from 𝐉𝐸. He actually made a post. Said a quick little status update on the investments he did from Q1 of 2024. He invested around $400,000. 6 of his tokens have actually launched and 10 of them haven't. He's made $23,000 back from some of them that have unlocked, and he marked to 0 a while ago for peace of mind. When you look at this, you see one thing likely. If you're in crypto right now, you're someone that's not as adept in crypto. You see this and you're like, oh my God, he lost so much money. This is terrible. I cannot believe this guy called 𝐉𝐸. He's LARPing. He's garbage. He doesn't know how to actually invest, or maybe he top blasted and, he's lost it all. However, you look at this post here, and by the way, this is the little image if you wanted to look at it. Here's the thing. He says, I think people are misunderstanding. This is an, oh, I lost so much money update. This is how investments are supposed to be. You don't make back your money in 1 month. Too many people think they're going to get a magical 300x. And listen, you can invest into meme coins and you can invest into the shiniest little meta that's in the space. At some point, gaming was the shiniest meta in the space. You do not want to invest into a space when it is the shiniest thing in the space. Typically speaking, you're top blasting, you're buying things at all-time highs. You do not want to do that. You want to either get in on the ground floor when it hasn't even launched, which there are ways to do that. There's Nexus, Neo Tokyo, many different launchpads, Cidus, Cidus, many different launchpads in the space to be able to do that. I don't want to hear this, conversation where people say, oh, but I can't get into this crypto gaming token before it launches. You can. You just need to research and actually learn how to get into pre-sales that do well. But the second thing I don't want to hear is that there's so many people that got into some of these and they're like upset that they haven't gotten their money back in 2 months. You do not want to trade cryptocurrencies for a 2-month gain. I have been in crypto for years at this point. I'm becoming a boomer at this point. And what I have learned is that you want to get into these long-term investment mindsets like 𝐉𝐸 is getting into. He's going to make millions of dollars off of his investments, likely. 10 of them haven't even launched, and he's already at a couple $1 million. So I think this guy's going to be doing all right, to say the least. Do you expect to get the perfect exit? Absolutely not. I don't think 𝐉𝐸 is going to get all-time high pricing on all of his exits. He's probably going to get all-time low on a bunch of them, but it only really takes one of those to do well for him to make a metric load of money. I mean, a $50,000 investment at 10x already covers his basis. 10x on 50,000, that's $500,000. That's more than his $391,000, as you can see right here, that he invested. And so this is the mindset you need to go to when you're investing into cryptocurrencies during an actual hard bull cycle where everybody and their mother is getting into cryptocurrency. But here's my warning to you. You don't want to do this too often when the markets are down, because there is one thing in the markets that is king. And I know some people are going to argue against this, but it's the dollar, the US dollar. Having liquidity is the most powerful tool anyone can have. And so what you want to do is have that liquidity available. You can lock it up on, maybe 10, 20% of your portfolio can be allocated to pre-sales or whatever you can stomach, right? And then after that, you do not want to buy spot coins when they have already launched and everybody's euphoric, because you're probably not going to time the markets right. And well, that's great and all. Gaming works on trends. You want to go ahead and buy when the prices are depressed. Like right now, when nobody wants to talk about crypto gaming, they're moving on to AI and RWA and all these other cringe narratives that are popping up out of nowhere. But gaming, it's inevitable. There's just too many facts that support that gaming is going to make it. Just everybody plays video games. Everybody's playing video games right now. and the Asian markets especially. I mean, League of Legends is pretty awesome over there. Gaming is going to be something that's not going anywhere anytime soon. And so getting into these gaming plays at the ground floor, which, I mean, some of these are actually lower than their pre-sales. I've invested into a couple of these, so I can attest to you that some of those rounds are actually lower than where I invested into them. You can get some insane deals right now that you weren't able to get, in quarter 1 or quarter 2 of 2024. And that's the kind of gains that you need when you're getting into the space. So what am I looking at right now in terms of, gaming coins? Because there's a couple strategies to it. What I think is going to be a really lucrative strategy is the TON gaming narrative. TON gaming, it is brain dead. If you didn't know what TON is, it's the Telegram coin. Telegram has, I think, like 950 million users or something ridiculous. They have a lot of users. They have a coin. It's at $17 billion right now. I'm not shilling the coin exactly. It's not doing the greatest in the world right now, but I'm sure it's going to bounce at some point. And so this little Telegram coin is getting a bunch of games building on it. There's a lot of users, and it's really easy to make a Telegram game. It just doesn't take too much effort. So a lot of these gaming companies are actually moving into Telegram. They're getting tons and tons and tons of users with not a lot of effort. And while you may argue, oh, but the AAA narrative is the narrative that we need to go for. We need to make the most cool game in the world. It's crypto. We got to spend billions of dollars on games. Incorrect. Very much incorrect. Indie is the way to go right now. You want to make as many things as possible to try to see if one of them ends up sticking into the wall. Just like I gave that explanation about Loopify investing into a bunch of different plays right here, I want you to understand that the same can be said with the rest of the crypto gaming space. You want to throw a bunch of different darts at the wall and hope one of them is the bullseye. That's exactly how you want to play these plays. You don't want to invest into a coin that only has one game. And I mean, you have to like pray practically. You have to pray to the gods that that thing is going to actually end up pumping. It's just probably not. But at least the coin that's trying 300 different products, well, I think 300 might be a little bit of a stretch, but maybe like 10 different products, they have a much higher likelihood of actually being a success. If they build 10 different products, it might not be the most quality in the world. But I mean, if people wanted quality, they just play Fortnite or Roblox. People want cool concepts, or they want to be early to something. That's what people want right now. And so the same exact narrative that Mr. Loopify is doing over here is what I want you to kind of apply to a lot of these other, crypto gaming coins. One of them is Cidus. In my opinion, Cidus is an absolute beast of a coin. It's up 200% over the year. They've got the Cidus pad. They've got their economy, which is absolute killer right now. All transactions are in their coins. Their games don't look bad. They aren't incredible games. But at the end of the day, they're good enough to actually get users. So they can continue to do, these product market fits and seeing what actually ends up working for them without spending their entire budget on them. And that's exactly what you need to be doing. They also have some pretty cool stuff. And by the way, I mean, they're all over the Telegram narrative right now. If you actually look at, I think I scroll down a little bit, it's called TON Station over here. They've got a lot of users that are playing over here. Millions of people that are going ahead and participating on these Telegram games. And TON Station is on that. All over it. They got that Cidus pad stuff going for them. Cidus Heroes super hyping all over them. So if you're trying to bank on this TON narrative, you're going to want to get onto Cidus. Or you're going to want to get into something very similar that is going to do well. A good example of a coin that launched pretty recently is Pixelverse. They mooned. They straight up mooned. I don't think it was the most organic pump in the world, but it's just still mooned. It's just hundreds of millions of FTVs. And right now, Cidus is at 80 mil FTV. So still at a very low FTV in comparison to a lot of these projects with what is so much more development. You compare where they were over here at 100 mil market cap to where they are today, it is kind of unfathomable as to why these valuations are here. These are absolute steals right now in the markets. And, I like this post from 𝐉𝐸𝐴𝑥𝐸. It says, a year ago, Ronin had many fewer games. 1 year ago, Ronin had much less volume. 1 year ago, Ronin had much fewer users, and they built through the bear market. And the same can be said with a lot of these different crypto games. They're positioning themselves to absolutely dominate absolutely dominate. Their valuations are ridiculous in comparison to how much growth has actually happened in the markets. Another cool strategy that I've been doing lately is, crypto gaming nodes. Some people hate crypto gaming nodes, but in my opinion, they're another strategy to kind of like pre-sales. You get into it before the token launches, you end up getting these nodes at low valuations, and then the thing balloons to $3.2 billion and you make a ton of money, right? Simple as that. But you don't want to get these after they launch. Crypto gaming nodes probably don't make sense after launches. I always get my crypto gaming nodes before the tokens launch, unless you're like a Playable, which Playable was just too obvious. The AVAX narrative was hopping on by. Actually, go ahead and show it to you. So this is Playable. So Playable was a pretty no-brainer, to be honest. So around this time, we had AVAX. AVAX was absolutely running. A bunch of different AVAX games were mooning. And one of the ones that people kept looking at that had an active community, diehard community that just kept going and going and going, gave me big Gala vibes at the time, was Playable. And so Playable, their family-run team, they're trying to do something in the space. They don't have the biggest team in the world, but they really are trying. These guys, they go ahead and just do the half-off node sale and balloon in price like insane price action. But here's the thing. Eventually, the nodes stop selling as fast, and then there's no reason to buy the Playable token for the sole purpose of buying these nodes. And so the price just naturally goes down. When you're buying these nodes after launch, you want to kind of expect a correction, right? It's very normal to expect a correction, but you've got to expect it at a time where you think the market will stop buying. So for example, with Playable, right now the market cap's 7 mil, 80 mil FTV. When this thing went ahead and pretty much over 10x'd, right? It over 10x'd. The valuation was somewhere around, 40 mil. The FTV was definitely much higher. It's pretty high for what Playable had at the time. Do I think it could have gone higher? Absolutely. I think if gaming kept being hype, it would have gone much higher. But at the end of the day, the node sales stopped. They slowed down. And so what you're waiting for is Playable to naturally kind of accrue this value over time. And then for Playable to get to the point where people begin buying nodes again. And to buy these nodes, they need to go ahead, maybe grab the Playable token. And that increases the price of the Playable token, and it ends up being good for you. So there's several strategies that work, several strategies that don't work. Another cool thing that has been coming up is launchpad plays. I think launchpads are going to be coming back really strong later this year. Right now, people are hesitant to get into launchpads. Understandably, the valuations that people are getting into these cryptocurrencies before they even launch, I think isn't very attractive. I haven't gotten into a round, like an actual pre-sale investment round in like 4 months, I think. Yeah, around like 4 months, maybe 3 months. It hasn't been that long. Probably like 3 months. It's been a bit though. It's been enough time to have a correction on Cidus all the way down to this $1 mark. And it's still over 100% higher than it was before. The reason people are buying Cidus though is to go ahead and stake it to get pre-sale allocations to these tokens. So if the logic is right that gaming is supposed to come back in somewhere around Q4 of 2024, then we can kind of deduce that these launchpad plays are going to moon again. These launchpad plays, every single time crypto gaming runs, these run so much harder. They're a heavy plus EV play. If you get into the space and you're betting on crypto gaming blowing up, launchpads are the most no-brainer play because you get to get into crypto gaming tokens early, and you also get exposure to a token that people are buying to get into crypto gaming tokens early. And if crypto gaming tokens are mooning, then they're going to keep buying it. It's just simple as that. It's just based on success. I think Cidus is moving into like an AI narrative as well, which AI right now is very hot too. And so they make a lot of sense. Another one to me that was very interesting and kind of shocked me, to be honest. I invested into this one actually. It was called Planet Mojo. So Planet Mojo, for the longest time, they were only on Polygon. But very recently, they actually announced that they're building on Base. This was in July 17th. And since then, their price action hasn't really done much. But I do actually see a lot of growth coming to Base. And it seems like the marketing machine for Planet Mojo may be coming likely sometime in Q4. They have good product. They have a couple games that are already out there. It is kind of crazy that they're at the valuation that they're at right now. So kind of getting into these plays that are just, I mean, this is $1 million market cap. This is practically a fucking shit coin at this point with the valuation it's at. So All right, I think it's pretty crazy buying these dips on some of these coins. Another one that I'm looking at, and we work with this one for sponsorship, so I'm gonna go ahead and disclose this one. Even then, I mean, I'm absolutely bullish on Wilder World. There's a good reason that we want sponsorships with Wilder World. It's because they're gonna kill it. It's just simple as that. And so I've been accumulating tokens every month as a result. You already know. It's at 100 mil market cap. 189 mil FDV. This is supposed to be the metaverse leader of the entire crypto gaming space. And right now it's at 100 mil market cap. Come on. Come on. This is going to billions. If the crypto gaming space comes back, Wilder World is going to billions. So for me, this is an absolute no-brainer price. It's kind of a very similar price to when I had first initially gotten into it. We had taken profits, as is very public, around that $1 mark. 37 cents though, that's kind of accumulation zone for me again. So I'm stacking again. I know some people say, oh, you buy and sell and then you never buy again. Nope, you could definitely buy again. You just have to be logical with it. And I think we're starting to get to that point where things are going sideways, kind of like how the crypto gaming bear market was. But valuations are starting to climb a little bit. As you can see here, they went from around 82 mil to what they're at right now, around 100 mil. So they've climbed a little bit, but not too much. This is kind of that price action that you're going to want to see for accumulation rather than just like euphoric buying. Oh my God, everything's going to moon tomorrow. I don't think the crypto gaming markets are mooning tomorrow, but I do think in Q4, a lot of these coins are going to bounce aggressively, and you're definitely going to regret it if you just stay sidelined and paper hand. But of course, none of this is financial advice, just my opinion. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section in regards to crypto gaming. I hope you learned something from this video. If you did, go ahead, leave a comment on a suggestion of a coin I should be looking at. Till the next time, stay classy, and that's all.